What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Dead State. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we finish off. I guess we're going to try and raid this shelter. I think we're pretty much full up on loot right now, so I'm thinking the best operation that we can pull at the moment, the best op anyways, is I'm going to put gas masks on everybody because, frankly, what we ran into in the last fight was that essentially they tear gassed us at the outset of the fight, and it really sort of made the whole thing take longer than it should have. It made us take extra damage, and in fact, I think the damage that we took was comparable to what we just would have took anyways had we removed this and put on a gas mask and just taken the shots with less resistance anyways. And so it became like one of those funny little things where perhaps I came in with the wrong equipment, but this will do it for right now. Let me make sure that everybody's got themselves reloaded too, because we need to be able to take out soldiers very, very quickly when we jump back in. We are on the west end of the map of Texas. We're out there somewhere. I'm going to have to go through. I'm trying to be very, very silent right now as we operate inside the hospital, because I sincerely do not want to wake up too many more soldiers. We killed a couple already, which is good, but they still have like grenades, they still have bombs, they still have tear gas. It's still a recipe for destruction, and so I'd prefer to keep myself away from it if at all possible. Let's go very, very slowly in here. Oop, I think I exited. That was, sorry about that. If I scared you, I apologize. That was my thumb. My spacebar is like, it's a gaming keyboard from Corsair, and the spacebar is so ridiculously, like, super, super sensitive. Like, you barely put weight on it, and it just freaks the hell out. So we got some soldiers over there. What do we have going on in here? Can I sneak around behind them? If I could, that would be vastly, vastly preferable to, like, facing off against most of these guys. Or at the bare minimum, we could get our fight on in one of these back rooms first to sort of, like, limit their element of, I guess, range. It's going to allow them to fire a little bit further, and I'm not feeling, like, particularly flammable at the moment, so I'd also like to check some of these side rooms just to make sure that before we kick off the combat with this dude over here, that we know what's coming for us. Let's see here. Is there somebody in here? There's nobody in here. Well, I didn't really want you to run, but that's okay. You can run, I guess. You can run. Be free as a deer in a field. So we did 27 points of damage right there. Oh, knocked out and bleeding out. That was really quick. Let's finish that off real fast. How quiet was that? Is that going to be quiet enough to where nobody's going to come investigate? Because I think there are a few more guys up and in here. I sort of like fiddled around and saw somebody else's LP, and I think that there's more people around. It's just that we got to be very, very careful about the way that we intrude here. Anybody taking a bathroom break? No? Nobody's up at the urinal, the myonal. There we go. Let's go over in here. That's what they called it in Maya culture. It was just the myonal. It was sort of like a ceremonial thing. They didn't use it all the time. So, for example, the myonals that we have nowadays, it's just like a lay claim over the urinal. It's the myonal, you know. And then if you're that one over there, you're at the urinal. That's the urinal. This is the myonal. It makes it very, very easy if there's only two. If there's a lot of them, then assigning, like, who gets what becomes complicated. But I wonder if the ones that came out and fought us outside, I think they might have been. I think the ones that came and fought us outside might have been the extras that are supposed to, like, maybe add on to that fight right there. I don't know. I'm just throwing everything open for right now, just trying to make sure. I want to clear all the threats, and then once we've eliminated all threats, then we can focus on looting the hell out of this place. I think that it'll probably eat up a good chunk of this episode, maybe. I'm having a difficult time telling, like, what's going to be useful from here on out, but from what I understand, yeah, let's go ahead and just bash that thing. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't think there's anybody left anyways, and if there is, we'll use this as an excuse to sort of, like, flush them out. This will be essentially our bird dog or whatever. Let's go ahead and take a look back here. Yeah, I think we got all that taken care of, actually. That last combat, it's surprising enough. I thought that last combat was going to be a little bit more intense. I figured there'd be a few more guys here, but I guess they only brought, like, a small group of outriders, I suppose. I really don't know what to say about that. I expected a bigger fight. Like, we spent so much time kitting out for this, and I'm a little bit disappointed by the military turnout. I'm a little bit disappointed. I feel like they could have done better. Let's go back inside and grab some stuff real fast, just so we don't leave anything behind on this run. We might as well make this as good of a run as possible. We got some bullets up in there. That'll be useful for later on. Although at a certain point, oh good, they've got medicinal marijuana. Once that runs out, I feel like our entire society is probably going to crumble. We've got several members of our society that really like to be puffing on the Chiba every now and again. Well, not even every now and again. That's pretty much like their daily routine is just like, how much can I smoke before the 12 o'clock hour? If I had to do shitty jobs like, I don't know, hoe a farm field, I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, I'm getting baked. Hope y'all don't mind. I'm pretty sure I can wield a hoe the exact same efficiency level baked as I can. I mean, some people function. Some people are very, very high functioning, you know, potheads. I know people that could do all kinds of crazy stuff when they're high that they can't even remotely do when they're sober. They're just like super, super high functioning. It helps them focus, actually. I think that's why it doesn't really help me. I just sit there and stare at stuff after I do. I'm like, I really enjoy cartoons and television. I mean, I know it sounds like super stereotypical, but like I can just like turn on Pandora or like Spotify or just like sit there on Netflix watching some random thing I would have never cared about otherwise. Where is our other team member? Yeah, bringing up the rear. Bringing up the rear, which sounds especially painful, but it's not so bad. It's just like, it's just a formation thing. Are you coming along? I know that the button's already lit up, but still, I'm always paranoid about it. So we are way the hell down here. We might be able to make a second run. Since we've already cleared out all the threats, I don't doubt it. I think we'll probably be okay. I'd love to clear out the shelter. I think it's probably a big deal that we took that place out. I do. It's one of the locations on the map that's typically marked as one of the harder places. And so we got hit with a grenade on the way in. That was the only thing that really sort of scared me about that entire encounter, though I'm hoping that maybe if we go to the other shelters, we might find some kind of like radio transmission, or maybe somebody that's talking to a government agency, or somebody that's in contact with someone. My guess is that at some point they're going to try and nuke the valley or something. That seems to be like the stereotypical thing that every zombie survival game has, like, oh, well, let's firebomb / nuke the valley. We can't save the people there. Let's keep this on the down low so the news people don't get angry at us. Let's go ahead and re-equip everything that we have here. Since we've already cleared out the location, I don't see a whole lot of reasons to carry around the heavy armor anymore. I'll probably just throw that in there, and then we'll have people wear something a little bit lighter so that we can loot better. Let's go down to Vic. We'll do the same thing with him. Throw the motorcycle on him. There it is. We're going to select all from over here and then swap those in. We've also got Paul, who's all ready to go. Paul is all ready to hit the wall. We'll throw that. It's too heavy. I really, really dislike that helmet and how heavy it is. It makes me sad. We'll throw that armor on, and that's going to leave us with that right there. And then Regina is the only one left. I'll actually probably leave her in the tire armor. It's cool armor, and I like it. It makes me happy. I don't know why. In like a Road Warrior sense, it really, really makes me stoked. I guess you could say that her character is super, super tired at the moment. Actually, worn and tired, I guess, if you wanted to get extra punny with it. If you wanted to get super, super, super punny. I don't know if we're ready to cross that threshold yet, though. It might be too much. I don't want to scare you off before the episode even gets going. Now that my brain feels like it's clicked into place, my brain has this little click. I don't know. I take days off, and then I start recording again, and then it's odd. Sometimes it takes a while for my mind to snap back into, like, work mode, like, get stuff done mode. I figure we'll hit the Soaring Eagle. We might hit the old army base, possibly. I don't know. We got to hit something, though. I don't really want the stalking corn. We've already got enough stalkers as it is. We're like, and there's no government agency to handle them. That's the real problem, is that we're just being stalked like crazy. Once the medieval, like, apocalypse ladies notice the awesome armor and the bling that we're wearing, I mean, guns are essentially, the guns and the spear are mostly what I think they're sort of impressed by. The spears, I think, maybe like a Freudian thing or something. I don't really know. But anyways, the apocalypse ladies love it. They love it, and they're sending him letters, fan mail for Tweedletime. He's a popular dude. I mean, among these faces, who do you think's the best looking? I'm definitely thinking Tweedletime probably has the best chances at the bar, simply based on aesthetics. Now, Paul is close. Paul is close, but sorry, ladies, he doesn't go that way, so it just doesn't even work like that. I mean, obviously, he should get fan mail from the other side of the fence. That's totally cool, but that doesn't come to my inbox. So, unfortunately, when it comes from me, like, transferring Tweedletime's fan base over to Paul, I think there's going to be a lot of disappointed ladies out there. Although Paul is a giver. I feel like he'd be the kind of person that would just be like, okay, and he'd just sort of, like, go for it just to make you happy anyways. Like, well, I could explain why this shouldn't happen, but you know what? It's the apocalypse, and, well, I don't know. I guess I'll just go with it. Let's see here. When your options get limited, you got to do what you got to do. We had that conversation just the other day, me and Tweedletime. I was like, well, so what's the plan what if, like, for example, it's like Lisa, and there just are no women anymore? Are we all agreeing together to just go into this as men? We're just going to go into this, like, Roman style. And just be like, okay, well, I guess we're all just going to swap over to men now. I mean, that'll work out, I guess. Everybody needs companionship, and I'm feeling a little bit lonely right now, and since there's no women left anymore, speaking of which, if you've never played Lisa, I guess I'll get off this subject right now. If you've never played Lisa before, I highly recommend it. It's a very, very good game. But yeah, we already had this conversation. We talked about it at the shelter. Luckily, that was more like at the beginning of the adventure when it was just me and Vic, and I just kept staring at his mustache like, I don't know, man, you might need to shave that off first. I'm not sure if I can feel real heartfelt affection for you man to man until you get rid of that mustache. I don't know. It tickles too much. It feels like somebody's running. You know those brushes you use to clean your tires? I feel like it'd be running across the top lip or something. I just don't know. If you get rid of that, though, I think we could make a good stab at it. And I don't mean that in any sort of, like, innuendo type of way. I just mean, like, we could try. I mean, Who knows? Who knows? Let's go ahead and break down this door. I feel like I'm talking myself into a weird corner right now, but it's okay. We're like 70 episodes in, so only like 0.00001% of the Nerdcastle's ever going to hear this conversation anyways. Let's grab the guns. We got, actually, this place is not so amazingly stocked up from what I had actually considered to be the payday for us being here, although we've only got 2 people loaded up right now. I'll probably get Regina up and running and see if maybe she can backpack a few more things. Equipment stores, so they got some helmets. They got some tear gas. They got actually a fragmentation grenade. That's pretty cool. They got a pipe bomb, just in case you want to get like your beep, beep, beep. Oh, we got a mine? The hell would we ever need a mine? I mean, I guess what's mine is yours, especially if you come up in my base trying to steal stuff. But anyways, our base never gets attacked, and a mine is much more of like a defensive sort of terror weapon than anything else. I don't think it would be easy to use a mine offensively. I guess you could throw it like a frisbee at somebody and then like rig it so that when the edges hit, it would explode like Tron style. Okay, that's my weapon of choice. I want mines where you grip them on one side like a discus from back in the Greek Olympic days, and then like you throw it, and if it hits somebody, it's like blows up super gangster style. Alright, that's pretty dope. Somebody needs to mod that into the game. The Discus O'Doom. The Disco Doom. Ooh, Disco Doom. See, you bring that in, and then it's got like a John Travolta type thing going on. I think we already got anything. I think we got everything in here, right? Yeah, we got everything in here. So that leaves us with Paul. Plain old Paul. You guys ever hear the song by, what's the name of that rapper? He made a song called Jimmy Ricard. I think he's British or English. I don't know, though. He might be from... He's from somewhere across the pond on the UK Isle, I think. Just based on his accent when he raps. But anyways, he's a pretty good rapper. He's decent. But yeah, he's got a song called Jimmy Ricard, and I can't remember his name. He comes up on my Pandora every now and again, and I enjoy that track, but I looked up his other stuff, and I wasn't a big fan. So I just sort of like poached that one track and threw it onto my iTunes and everything. I was like, alright, that works out for me for right now. I hate these things. Oh, never mind. That's not what I thought it was. There's like these little air conditioner units, and you know that noise? So I don't know, those of you that were in the stream like a week and a half ago, I was like, what is that high-pitched, like, wee noise? Like, that was in the background, and some of the people in the stream could hear it too. My landlady installed an air conditioning unit right outside my window. Like, didn't notify me or anything, just tried to sneak it on by. I went outside, it's brand new, it's all shiny, the plastic's like perfect. It's never been out like a single season in the rain, it looks amazing. And I was just like, oh. So I have like a jet turbine outside my window right now when I sleep at night. Like, last night it kicked on, and I legitimately thought a plane was like taking off from on top of my house. I was like, this can't be, you can't be allowed to do that, can you? Like, as a landlady, what tiny little gremlin in your mind sat there and was like, hey, we should totally put this air conditioning unit right outside of Splattercat's house? Like, who thought of that? Who thought of that? Like, because there has to be, you do this for a living, right? You're a landlady for a living. You've been doing this, as you explained it to me, for like 25 years. You just dropped that right there? Is that sort of like a manifest destiny, or like a... Are you just allowed to do that? Because it's pretty noisy. I had to go buy earplugs, you know, so why can't you just put it on top of the building like a normal human being? Just from a roofer to you as a homeowner, why can't you just put it up on the roof? I've installed air conditioning units on roofs before. It's not that difficult. I looked up on the roof, too. I went out. There's a little hill next to my apartment complex, and I looked. And your roof seems like it'd be okay for air conditioning units. You might have to sprinkle 1 or 2 on the ground, but you could put those in, like, the sparsely populated areas. I don't know. This apartment complex sometimes frustrates me. That's the point that I should be getting across right now. Although, talking about things taking off in the backyard, I went to the store the other day, and, like, I noticed there was this enormous crowd next to the store, and I was like, alright, well, I don't want to be a rubbernecker, because I always bitch and moan about rubberneckers. Like, I can't stand looky-loos. Where... the hell... What are you doing, man? Sorry, there was a particularly interesting petunia back behind the building, and I was looking at its stamen. I'm like, you're stamen watching? That seems like an odd that seems like a very, very odd hobby to bring up right about now. Like when we're trying to zone out of this place and take loot back to the base. Like, I know, but stamen watching, if I can't have... Oh, he's bugged out again is what it is. He's actually inside the building. Hold on. I'm gonna have to, like, get him loose somehow. Yeah, he's bugged out inside the building. I'm gonna have to fix him somehow. Stuff like this just shouldn't be happening. And it's so frequent, too. It's so frequent. So very, very frequent. So you guys are going back to there here. I'm going to hold on for a second. And now Regina's going to be the one who's glitching through the wall. How do I fix this is the question that stands. Like, there is really no way to fix this once it decides what it's doing. Like, it just hangs out and it'll bug out like this. Oh, it's Vic. Never mind. So Vic's causing problems. It's weird. Like, you compound the issue by clicking more. So my suggestion would be to click less whenever this happens. Okay. So now, is everybody good? It also seems to have something to do with running. It never happens, like that right there never happens when I'm walking, but I think that might be because the characters like stay closer to each other. That's another issue that the game needs to fix, where characters need to stay within a couple spaces of you when they're in this mode right here. Like, you see this formation that we're holding right here? They should run and walk in this formation unless a blockade keeps them from doing so, because that's why they drag so far behind, and then you could eliminate the pathfinding issue altogether. You wouldn't even have to deal with it. You could leave the bug in the game, because if they stay close to each other like that, it never triggers in the first place. Save yourself a little bit of work by just kind of like going a little bit further up the neck, I guess. Let's see if we can get back to base before anything else terrible happens. I don't like it when I run across stuff like that, but I've been trying really, really hard to sort of just forestall my attitude about it, because I do get kind of... We've visited here 68 times, really. We've almost visited 69 times, giggity. Anyways... I've really been sort of trying to forestall my irritation with the situation, but the truth is, it happens so often that sometimes I want to break down and just like stop recording and just go in the living room and, I don't know, watch Sons of Anarchy for like an hour, like regain my composure. I don't know what else to say about it. That's worth 5, right? If that's worth 5, throw that in there because I never use them, and then we'll throw that in there. I don't think that we use it for right now or that we need it for right now. I'd love to have somebody in our group that's actually rocking... I don't know. Our equipment is still perfectly fine. I'll probably throw the vests back on everybody now that we looted that location. And we'll probably hit up... I'm going to try and hit all of the military locations from here just to kind of keep it interesting, because honestly, the game hasn't been super gripping for me as of recently. It hasn't had its chameleon hands on. Have you ever watched a chameleon's little hands? They're adorable. I don't know. Maybe I'm one of the few people that find that to be adorable, but I love the way their hands like fold over things and then stick. They're like so careful about the way that they articulate their fingers if you watch them. I don't know. It's interesting to me. It's one of those weird things that interests me for some reason, and I like watching chameleon hands. What can I say about it? It seems like kind of an odd fetish to have. I don't think it's a fetish, actually. It's just a thing that I enjoy watching. It's relaxing. Watching how they contemplate where their little fingers are going to go when they're climbing up stuff. It's adorable. I like it. Probably throw gas masks on people just in case. Tweedle time. And there he is. Let's throw gas mask on. Oh, he's already got a gas mask on Chew. Okay. Well then, Paul, do you still have that? Vic, what are you rocking? Oh, you still got that too. Well then, that leaves Regina, who's got her tire armor. We'll throw that on there. We could give her a bullet vest now. It is an option. My biggest fear is that we're going to go to one of these locations and the military's not going to be waiting for us. It's going to be a group of those marauders or those killers or whatever the hell they're called. Those psychos, basically, that have, like, ridiculous piercing, cutting, and whatever weapons, and we're going to be completely and totally ill-equipped to deal with them. However, until that happens, I guess we'll just YOLO it for now, I suppose. As much as I dislike using that phrase. Let's go upstairs and let's see what the next day has to bring. Hopefully not any really, really pressing events. Things that need our attention immediately, like jumping up and down like, hey, splat, 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 look at this, splat, hey, splat, look at this, splat, splat, look at this, splat, hey, splat, splat. So we got 77 morale. People have told me to use the morale items, but we don't really need to at the moment. Like, I think that I could definitely go through and I could get rid of that 60 right there, but our morale is so positive at the moment that I don't know. Sometimes I think this isn't really reflective, though, of the entire colony. Maybe I'll look in just a second. I haven't looked at our roster in a while. I was just in the library, and I can't find a copy of the book I was looking for. It's based on a movie called The Galaxy Wars. I heard about them a while back from a kid in church. My daddy didn't think that it was appropriate for Christians with their ideas of life outside the Earth, but I always wanted to read them. They sounded neat. The version that I'm looking for is supposed to contain all 3 stories and have pictures and drawings and all kinds of neat stuff. If I run across a copy, I'll give it to you. Oh, I can't wait. It'll give me something to keep my mind off the heat and bugs when I'm trying to sleep. Alright, I'll see you later. Oh, man, this is awesome. Whoa there, kid. Let's get you back to your room. No way. I feel too... Hang in there. Almost back to your room. I'm cool. Ryan throws up on himself. Is he drunk? Ugh. I can explain. Kid couldn't sleep, and so I thought a little booze might help because, well, everybody should learn to appreciate whiskey at some point in their lives. Unfortunately, I may have overestimated how much Ryan could appreciate it once. You did what? I mean... Alright, just get him clean up and sober. I don't care. I smell puke. He's gonna have to sleep it off today. I really didn't know it hit him that hard. Yeah, he can sleep it off. Nah, I'm cool. Ryan burps up more puke on himself. Thanks for understanding. He needs moments like this. It's good for him. Let's get you cleaned up. Come on, Ryan. I don't know. Like, I could get super up in arms about that right now, but frankly, I wouldn't have a leg to stand on. I enjoy liquor as much as everybody else, and frankly, I don't know. I'm a hypocrite. I started drinking when I was like probably 13, maybe 14, I guess. I don't know. Not like a lot, but that was like the first time I had liquor at a party, I guess, was when I was like 14 or so. And after that, like, I don't know. I was never like an irresponsible drinker, though. Even as a kid, like, I knew I wasn't supposed to be doing it, obviously. Like, it was illegal for me to be doing it, first and foremost. But that being said, like, I was never the kind of person, like, where I would have called my parents if I was, like, drunk and had to get home somehow. Like, I wouldn't have drove home or whatever. You know, I knew they would have been mad at me, but typically I just walked it off, to be honest. I walked everywhere when I was younger. Like, and so either that or I would sleep over at somebody's house and then I come home the next day or whatever. I don't know. Just in the sheer sake of transparency, I can't really get furious about it. Because isn't Ryan like 17 anyways? The drinking age in like most European countries is like 18 or like 16 or whatever, right? So anyways, it's all arbitrary anyways. Who cares? Now that the government no longer exists, I don't know. Liquor's liquor. Doesn't hurt my feelings at all. It's not something that I feel strongly about. It just like isn't. Let's go to the army base. Let's go, actually, where do I want to go right now? We could go to the Soaring Eagle Resort, Dead End, the Dublin Bar. The Dublin Bar, you guys said there's a survivor there, so I guess we could go see if we could find another survivor, although our last survivor totally sucked. He was a racist asshole. So I'm thinking he might have been a mistake. Then again, he's been quiet lately. As long as you don't talk to him, he keeps his racist shenanigans like under wraps, and so it's just kind of like, alright, you go sit and be ignorant over in the corner by yourself and like build something or do the job you're assigned, and we can get along for right now. Plus, I'm not sure that ethically, casual racism and bigotry is an excuse to send somebody out to die, like in the wasteland by themselves. And I know what you're thinking right now, just bear with me, but like, is the cost for being a bigot like death? I think that's a little bit heavy. Like, nobody likes bigotry, least of all me, but am I willing to kill you over it? I guess it sort of depends if it's directed at somebody I know or not, maybe. I don't know. That's a tough question. That's one that I would have to sit and ponder over. Like, if it's definitely causing discord within the shelter, you'd have to get rid of him out of pragmatism. But that would be more about keeping everybody together. If he's just like a racist asshole and keeps it to himself, I don't see any problem keeping him at the base. I mean, as long as you're not making other people angry and getting in scraps and fights with anybody else, that's fine by me. If you're sitting around being super ignorant and bigoted, like, out loud, though, all the time, I guess we're going to have to send you out just for the greater good of everybody else. We got to keep harmony around here. We can't have people at each other's throats trying to kill each other. Yeah, da-da-da? Exactly. Let's see here. This is like a banner episode for me. Oh, there's some guitar strings? Cool. Oh, yeah, there is aggro. Oh, that's not good. What's she got in her hand? A taser? What is that? A lightsaber or something? She's got a cool jacket. I like her jacket. I guess we'll take the smartphone. Somebody just left a smartphone here, huh? The apocalypse got here and somebody was like, well, there it is. Pick up that data. I really need to do the data episodes at some point, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I've decoded like 10 or 15 of them now, and I need to sit down and just start reading them out on camera, but haven't got there yet. About damn time, Alan. Oh, you're not Alan, so what's your deal? I was just going to ask you the same thing. I don't know. I've been here for a while. What day is it anyways? I guess it doesn't matter. Hey, if you're alive, do you know if there's like somewhere safe around here? I'm kind of tired of pretzels, cigarettes, and shitty Texas beer. It's hot as balls, too. I mean, let's see here. I'm from a shelter. There are other survivors here. You're welcome to stay if you follow the rules. Alright, well, what the hell? It's not like anything was happening here, and well, Alan was here, but who knows if he's coming back. Who's Alan? My manager, my fucking band, or my backing band. I'm sorry, I got the wrong word right there. And my driver, my ex, he can take care of himself. Fucking Alan. That's why. It was right there and my brain juxtaposed it. That's what did it. I was going to say it's weird that I did that if I didn't see it somewhere else. Now I feel better. I feel a lot better. Are you sure you don't want to wait for him? Nah, let's just go. Let me pick my guitar. Let me pack my guitar and I'll be ready to split. By the way, I'm aggro. Aggro? What kind of name is that? It's short for fuck off. There, explain. If you want to sound like you're a Decepticon, that's your business. Follow me. That's hilarious. You got to get those stabs in. You got to get those stabs in. Aggro. Like, that's got to be your mama giving you that name? Aggro, huh? That doesn't speak well of your temperament, does it? That's like something that you name a particularly grumpy dog. That's like every now and again you meet somebody named Benji, and I was just like, that's like in the United States, Benji is like, wasn't there a dog named Benji on like a TV show? And so it just became like associated with like dogs forever. Like it's tough. I mean, I don't know if I would want to be. I hate my name though. My name is Matthew, and I can't stand it. I just don't like it. Never liked it, never will. It's too long. It's got too many T's, and it's just like, yeah, the sounds don't flow right. It's soft. You gotta have a name that's hard, like Gurg. That's like a real Viking name, just like name Gurg. Like you have to have no vowels whatsoever, just all consonants. That's how you sound. Like that's how you have a manly name. It's Gurg. Sounds like a sound you make when like a chicken bone gets caught in your throat. Anyways, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcast for the next episode of Dead State. I look forward to seeing you all in the future. I do, everybody.